So what are the different, in the API testing, what are the different type of testings you will perform? So basically in the manual testing, you are doing functional testing, smoke testing, browser compatibility testing, all this, right? In normal regression testing, retesting, right? But in the API testing, what you will do? What kind of testings you will perform with the API? So there are no different type of testings we will perform. Functional testing. Functional testing means you will know, as you know, whether the functionality is working or not, you will check. So APIs, what is the functionality you can ask? Basically, CRUD operations. CRUD operations means what? Create, update, delete, read. So is it happening with these APIs? Whether you're able to get the data, whether you're able to read the data from the server. That's a get method. So create means you need to post something. So if you want to post, so that post method will be there. So the post method will help you know, to create something, right? To create something, it will help you. And at the same time, you have a update. So if you modify with this put method, you can modify the data. So how we can modify the data? So whether it is working, you modified whether it is working or not. So how you will ensure that? So then if you delete, whether it is deleting the resource or not. So delete a resource, you try to get it again. So that you will come to know whether it is there or not. In the server, if it is there, you will get it. If it is not there, you won't get it, right? So these are all functional test cases. Okay. Those functional testing you will do. Positive, negative again by giving a different data, positive data and negative data, and you will do that functional testing. So load testing means how much time it is taking to complete this request, and when you send the request, how much time it is taking to get back the response. So it will give you the time also. So that is load testing also you can perform, and also number of requests if you send, how much time it is taking. That's a load testing people will perform, and like with API testing, runtime error detection, so security testing. So basically, if you HTTPS you have to use, right, for to hit the outside URLs, and that will ask you authorization token you have to give. So otherwise, unauthorized users it doesn't recognize, right? For example, if I want to hit your any like HDFC Bank, you want to hit and you want to deduct amount in Amazon, so it will ask you authorization. Who are you, right? So you need to authorize yourself. If you want to deduct from your bank, you have to authorize yourself, right? That authorization you have to check. That's the security testing also will be done. In many levels it happens. Penetration testing, so fuzz testing, interoperability testing. These are all different type of testings. But our case is mainly functional testing. So we'll do functional testing only with APIs. So what you will think when performing API testing? So during API testing process, so you will send the request. So with an API with the known data. So then you will analyze. So when you get the response, so what you will consider the accuracy of data. Okay, what data you send, what data you are getting, is it the same, and you will validate that. That's the accuracy of data. And schema validation. Schema validation is nothing but for every request there will be a schema. They will give what are all the fields must be there. For example, you are creating an account. So what fields will be there? Like first name, last name, mobile number, username, password. These are the fields must be there, right? Creating an account. So that for the create account, is that the same schema or not? You will validate. That's the schema validation also you will check. Any other fields, if you add, it won't recognize because that fields are not there in that API. So when they are creating the APIs, those fields are not there. If the field is not there, you are inputting and it won't take. So that is a schema is correct or not, you have to validate. And another one, HTTP status codes. HTTP status codes is nothing but, okay, when you send a request, you are getting the response. Is it successful or failure? How do we know? So if you get the 200 series status code, your request went fine. That's a indication for the request is successfully processed in the server side and you got the output. If you get a 200 series status codes, there is 200, okay, 201 created, 202 accepted, 204 no content. So like this, you will get a 200 series status codes will be there, right? So those status codes, I'll explain you in the, so we have those status codes in the coming. So bottom side, I'll tell you what are the different status. So this is another interview question also. What are the status codes you will validate while testing? So data type. So validations, order and completeness, authorization. I told you, right? Just authorization. So if you are giving a wrong authorization, it won't process, right? Basically, it won't process. So that authorization checks, implementation of response timeout. So how much time it is taking, to finish that. Error codes in case API returns any error codes like there is a 400 series all client side error codes. Server side there is a 500 series. Okay, so there are different error codes will be there. So those error codes you are getting or not, that you can check that. So that's this error codes validation also you can see that. And so non-functional testing, basically how much time it is taking to finish the request. So that time also you can gather in the API testing automation, you will get that automatically. So these are the things they will ask you this question, very, very important. Okay, as part of API testing, what you will check? Tell these points, okay? Accuracy of data, schema validation, HTTP status code, so authorization checks. So this is very important, authorization checks also. And so data type, what data you provided and what data it is accepting, all this. So error codes, right? So these are all very important points you can mention. So these are all, this is the mandatory interview question in the interviews. Make sure this is properly understand that. So what are the major challenges faced in API testing? So while doing a testing, what are the challenges you will face? First, basically, parameter selection. Parameter selection is nothing but test data preparation. The test data preparation is the main challenge here. So what data you need to provide, all these things will be a bit difficult for us. And parameter combination, what combination we need to give, and call sequencing, which method first need to call, first post call, get call, update call, delete call, which one you need to put, that order also important. And another one, output verification and validation. You have to verify the output, right? You are giving input, what output you are getting, that output also you have to how to verify, and all this some kind of challenges will be there, like, because you will get a JSON structure, very nested structure you will get. Okay, how to validate that nested structure data, how to get that from the response. So that you will get some challenges there. So that another challenge will be there. So another important thing, providing input values, which is very difficult, preparing the data basically, because you don't have a GUI, right? And what data you have to input, and all these are challenges will be there in the API testing. What kind of bugs that API testing would find, right? So basically missing a duplicate functionality. So maybe functionality is missing, and So duplicate functionality might be fails to handle error conditions. Maybe so when you give a negative data, they are not handling the error conditions, and so this is the main areas here, and unused flags, and then security. Maybe if you give authorized user also, unauthorized user also, it is accepting such kind of things. Not implemented errors are not handled, inconsistent error handling, multi-threading issues, improper errors. These are all, you can tell these kind of issues. Mainly you face them. Okay, so what is API documentation? API documentation is nothing but it's a complete, accurate technical writing giving instructions on how to effectively use and integrate with an API. Basically, the developers are developing APIs, right? Where you can find them. So what is the method we need to use? Which HTTP method we need to use? Put, post, get, delete, which one? And then what is the structure? So the API URL, the URI, how you will the structure will be there. So that structure and then schema, what data you need to give, all this information you can find in this API documentation, where you will get all the API details. Like we have a requirements document, right? Same way, after developing the APIs by the developers, they have to document them in the API documentation. Now that is a famous one is a Swagger document. One of the famous API documentation everybody uses a Swagger document. So in this Swagger URL will be there for every company. There they will so include all the APIs. Every API the developer developed, and he will give one example also. This is how you can give the input data, and he will give and what is the status code you need to get, what is the output you will get, with example also he will give. And also schema structure also he will give in this Swagger document. So this is in the bottom side itself, you can see Swagger documentation templates, what are all famous in the market. Swagger is a very famous one. So this API documentation is a Swagger. One of the API documentation name is a Swagger, very important. So even wherever I go, I'm using Swagger only, this one. Okay. And Merit is there, Slate is there, Flat Doc is there, API Blueprint, REST Doc. But I never used this. Only Swagger I used until now. In all my API testing when we started. So we started in 2017 using API testing. From there till now, completely I'm using Swagger only. So in all the companies, different clients I worked everywhere, I'm using Swagger. Okay. So in the Swagger itself, they will allow you to execute your APIs. Even you can execute the your APIs in the Swagger itself. Otherwise, you have to use a Postman. Postman generally people will use to execute it, but even your Swagger itself going to provide you to execute the this APIs. So then you will get the output also. You give input and you can get the output. So that kind of feature also they are providing this in the Swagger. So what are tools used for API testing? So the Postman. So can you all go to this URL and download the Postman? So this is very important. So download this Postman. So this is a Windows 64-bit. Please download this and you will get like this. The app, this is an app. Okay, you will get an app. So let me see when this is my new one, right? Postman is not there. I'll also download. So just download this Postman. So you will get a exe file. Okay. Even there is a Postman on the web also, but you can use web or you can use download the app. They have provided the app, so you can download this app. So if you click on this, show in folder, and the Postman app, just click on that, and it will open to us. The Postman will open to us. It's just a tool. It's an app. Okay, it's just an app. See this, the just an app. Download, and you will see this. You can create an account with this. All right, you can create an account. So I already have an account, but if you want, you can create an account. If you don't have, create an account. Okay, create an account, and you can do that. So I have already. That's why I'm going to use my credentials. Even if you can sign in with Google also, if you already have. Right? So open. You can open the Postman. So it will open an app. It's just an app. So it will be there. Right? This is the app. It will open like this once you log in. Okay. So this is the how to download and launch the Postman. So this is the main tool we're using to do API testing, manual API testing. Okay. So you can use this performing the API testing for this. Okay. That's one of the, I'll explain you that in detail. Okay. Meanwhile, let's go what are other tools. SOAP UI is there, Tosca and API Z, Catalan Studio. Even Catalan Studio also you can use to do the API testing. REST client plugin for Firefox browser. You can install the plugin for the Firefox browser, even in the Chrome browser also. Then you can test the APIs. So same, everywhere same structure will be there. You should have one HTTP verb method, either get to, post to, put to, delete. These methods will be there everywhere. So any tool you are using, even JMeter also you can test. Another one, JMeter also will be there. And in the curl is another one where you can use this curl command line tool for getting and sending the files using URL syntax. So curl also another one you can use it. Okay. So this curl means a command line. Basically, your command prompt is there, right? There also you can execute your APIs directly without any, going for the Postman and other things. You can avoid directly from the command prompt. You can do that also, but you have to install this libcurl, and then you will access curl. So that curl also you can do. Otherwise, this Postman is providing even curl command also. I'll show you in the Postman. Okay. So this is the Postman for testing the Postman can be used for you can create the collection. A collection means what? A bunch of requests. Each request is a one API. So each request is one API. Like that, you can send a bunch of requests in one collection. So individually you can run, and as a bunch of requests you can run at a time also. So like a suite, right? A suite, a test suite, right? That's a collection in the Postman. We call that collection. A bunch of a collection of things you can use that. So these all things that now you can do that in the Postman. You can run that as get data from objects, tree, JSON, XML format. You can manage the environment variables. So modify tests for yourself in the old and new versions. Run one test several times. Download test data from file. Create a lot of data with unique values. All these things we can do in this Postman. So how to install, I already told you. Just you can download that Postman. This is the one. So after download, just double click on that icon. It will open for you. So you need to register. It will open for you. But first we need to create the request or all this. I'll tell you how to do that. All this. There are so many APIs are already available in the market. So that whichever you want, you can use. But for your practice purpose, we will use Postman APIs itself. Okay. So I'll tell you Postman APIs itself we can use. We can fork and we can use that. Otherwise, there are so many you can see here. Any payments API if you want, you can use this also. Facebook API is also there. MicroStrategy REST APIs. So many are, these are a public APIs you can use for your practice purpose. So many are there. Gmail APIs, Unified Payments Group API, Oracle Hospitality, Opera Cloud REST APIs by module, Plaid API endpoints, General API, so Kong, C admin. So many WordPress, so eBay. See, lot of APIs are there for your practice purpose. Also, you can use any one of them, right? So no issue, no problem at all. But we'll use Postman APIs. Then I'll take one more thing also. Two API, different type of APIs we'll practice here. So let's go to this and create a so we'll create a before going for this I want to explain you the JSON structure. So status codes and JSON structure. We'll come back to this. Okay, we'll come back to this. I need to explain the JSON. These are the methods I was telling. Okay, these are the methods I will get to, post to, put to, patch, delete. So these 5 methods, if you know, that's good enough for us. Automatically, every tool have these methods. First, these things mandatory. First, you will select one of them, then you will give the URL, endpoint URL. So, right, that is the one. And so these are all things I'll explain later. Authorization, I told you, right? Authorization, you have to give API key, bearer token, basic auth, OAuth 1.0, OAuth 2.0. These are the different authorization. So this is also another interview question. So what are the different authorization tokens you know? So you can tell this bearer token, API key. I'm using now this one, API key. Okay. So this one basic auth, OAuth 1.0, OAuth 2.0. These are different type of authorization things will be there. Password credentials, hack authentication, AWS signature. So Akama Edge grade. So many authorization things will be there. So see what are the different type of authentication. So these are the single sign-on will be there. Two-factor authentication, single factor, the primary authentication, multi-factor authentication, password authentication protocol, challenge handshake authentication protocol, extensible authentication protocol. And apart from this, you can tell this also. So basic auth, this is the authorization tab is there. So this tab we will get automatically. Parameters, so authorization, headers, so body. These are the very important for us. And the test purpose, we'll use this test tab. And this one, see the methods you will select here, and the URL you will give HTTPS protocol. So you will start with HTTP or HTTPS protocols. And then, so this is the base URL. After that, /post, that whatever is there after that, .com after, that is the endpoint URL. So that means your service URL. So, so these are the different type of authorizations. You can select the beta token also, but we'll see all those things, okay? And you can learn more on this authorization in this URL. So API doc. So these two URLs important for us: generating authorization key and API doc. So this is the one. You can open this link. Okay, this link you open in one tab, and below link authorization key tab you can open in another tab. So two links you open in the different tabs, so that it will help us to understand the Postman APIs. Okay, so let's open this. I'll show you the APIs. Okay, let me open in another tab. So this is the Postman APIs documentation. I told you documentation will be there for every API what they have developed. So this is what happening here also. You can see, you read this from the beginning. See, Postman API allows you to programmatically access data stored in Postman account with ease. You can open that. The easiest way to get started with API is to click the fork button to fork this collection to your own workspace and use Postman to send requests. Even you can fork it, or otherwise we have in the bottom side all the collections. See, authentication, you have to give API key. You have to generate the API key, and you can use this in the header itself. Otherwise, API key you have to give in the authentication. Both I'll show you. Okay. See, API key related error response. If an API key is missing, malformed, or invalid, see, there are three kinds of test cases here. You missing means what? You are not giving the API key. Then hit the request. What will happen? You will get a 401 unauthorized response code. 401 is the status code. Without giving the API key, if you hit the request, you will get a 401 unauthorized status code. See, this is how you will get the, your JSON. JSON will be like this. Key value pair, right? Key value. So in the curly brackets, you will get this. This is how you will get the your JSON. So this is the object, error object. So the error object fields are name is the key and value in double quotation marks. In between the key and value, there is a colon. There is a colon. Separate the key value. So sometimes we need to get this name value and message value. We will get this message value. This is the challenge for us. This is in the response body. But how we will get a message? This message, this you want to validate. We will get from response this message. These are all things we are going to see in our testing. So then you can see below API reference collection. This is the collection. / collections endpoint that you manage your collections. You have to give authorization key. So first post create a collection. If you want to create the collection, so you have to use this. Method is post method, and the URL is this is the URL. And you have to give query parameters on this body. This body, all the data you have to give in the JSON format. Even in the call format also, this is the call format also. This is the call. Command prompt, you can execute this. -- location, -- request, post, and the URL, and you are giving the raw data and all this collection data is here. And the response you will get, this is the response you will get. So collection, every collection has an ID, name, UID. So this is every API, they are defining what is the response you have to, what is the request you have to send, what is the response you will get. So you will create like this, right? So this is the how you can see, but I'll show you all these things. Get a collection. You want to get a collection. How will you get the collection? How will you get all collections? So how will you get a single collection? So this is the different type of things I'll show you that. See, collection UID. The UID is when you create a collection, you will get a UID here. Can you see that? Let me show you that. That's right, UID. So this UID, you need to get it. Or every collection has a UID. Like every user has one user ID. Like that, we have a UID for every collection. So that this value, you need to get it. How you can get from the response body. That's another challenge. So these are all in the response body you have. How you can get that, how you can use this collection, this request output value as an input to the next input. So this request output you need to use as input to other request. How you can use it. So that's another very important. This kind of tricky challenges, tricky scenarios you will get in the real time. That all these scenarios I'll show you that for you. And get a single collection. So this is the URL. So this is the method name is a get method, and the URL is this one. And this is the endpoint here. So the UID you need to pass. And in the same time, you have to pass API key, X API key, request header, or API URL for query parameter. So anything you can pass. So that is the one thing you need to use that. Then delete a collection. So you can delete the collection. So this collection UID, if you give, it will be deleted. Only that collection will be deleted. Okay, that is the one. Then we have update a collection. You can update the collection. See put method. So update is done by put method. Put HTTP work method will help us to update it. And then we have another one. For put method, observe that. See, put method you have the request body. The request header, so request body will be there. Only put and post is going to have request body. That means input data you need to give. For a get delete, you don't need input data. See, if you see delete, delete, you don't need any input data. Request just headers and that's it. No body. The response body you got it. Response, no request body. Request body is not there for the delete method. Even for get method also there is no, see get method, there is no request body. Just headers will be there, that's it. Get to delete methods, no need to give any input. Request body, no need to give. Just URL you have to provide, the method name and URL and which ID you want to delete, which ID you want to get it. That is, these are all endpoint URLs. These are all endpoint URLs. These are all service URL, we call this. This is the service URL. And this is the base URL. Base URL means your server URL. Base URL slash the resources. The resource name is a collection. In that collections, which collection ID you want, that collection ID you are giving. So you will get that. So this is the how you can so understand this APIs. Every API has a base URL first till here. The .com is the right. This is the first one. This is the protocol. Then base server URL. Then slash the endpoint URL. This is all called this slash after whatever is the server URL. The endpoint URL or service endpoint URL we call that. Our API method we call this. Okay. And so see, even this is also same. See, get to delete, you don't need to provide any input. Only for a post and put. See, for body, right? You have a body request header, so request body is there. And request address is content type application JSON you have to give. Body you are providing. Body means input data. Which data you want to modify, the data you are giving here. But this data will be modified. For example, name, I want to modify, schema, I want to modify, you can modify that. So that we are giving here the input data and request and the response you will get like this. The modified name you will get it. So that's the how to so work with this APIs. We'll see this how to work all these things one by one. I will show you. So there's a get all collections. You want to get all the collections that are in the server. You can use this method, get method, and this URL you have to use. And then headers, these are the headers you have to give. So authorization key you have to give, and query parameters if you want, you can give. So that's the, and response you will get. This is the response you will get. So collection array you will get. Collection array you will get. So this is the collections is the array name. How can you say it is array? The square bracket. So in that square bracket, one collection. There are many collections will be here. So you can see here. This is the one collection. This curly bracket to here one collection, comma, next collection. So in the array, so there are many elements, right? Till here another collection. And then you have one more collection also. You can see one more collection. We see another collection. Then array is ending here. This is how your JSON will be there. JSON, so array inside there are many objects will be there. JSON object we call that. So this is the one JSON object. This is another JSON object. So every JSON file you have a parameter. ID one parameter, name is another parameter, owner is another, but everything key value pair format. In the curly brackets you will give. This is the one JSON object. Okay. Main JSON object starts here. In this JSON object, you have a collection array, collections array. In the collections array, the first one you will get with a collections of 0. If you get these details, you will get this first object details you will get. Collections of 1 if you give second array. Basically, you know array, right? How to access array name square bracket 0. Then if you want this element collections of 0 dot id if you give, then you will get the ID value. Collections of 0 dot name if you want, you can give name, you will get a name. Collections of UID, collections of 0 dot UID if you give, you will get this value. So we will get from the response. So that I'll explain you in our while testing that all those things. So have you all installed this already? Is it done? The download is done. Everybody, so that's easy. Quickly do that. Don't postpone. Okay, so it will be easy for you also. So let's go to discuss what is JSON. JSON stands for JavaScript Object Notation. So JSON is a lightweight format for storing and transporting data between client and server. So JSON is often used when data is sent from a server to a web page. So let's say easy to understand. You see like this. So as I told you, JSON will be ref3 employee records. So this is the one employee, one JSON object. Basically in the array, employees array, how to represent, you know already in the square brackets will represent. So otherwise only object you want to JSON object, you will put in the curly brackets. Curly bracket. You can represent like this also. So data is in name value page. Data is separated by commas. Curly braces hold objects. This is one object. So another object. So another object. Every object is different. Okay. Square bracket holds the arrays. So these things you have to remember. So name value pair. This is the one name value pair. JSON data is nothing but this is the one data. Name value pair it will be there. And that's it. JSON object means this one. JSON objects are written inside curly braces. JSON objects are written inside curly brackets with a name value pair. Contain name value pair. See, name value. So name value. So this is the JSON arrays are written inside the square brackets. Just now I have shown you. So then status codes. So what are the different status codes? So 100 series is there. So that is the all information purpose. You want to get some information. You will use 100 series status codes. You will get it. So 100 means continue. 101 switching protocols and 102 processing. That's a 100 series. But we won't use this much. But mainly we'll use 3 series only. Remember 200 series, 400 series, 500 series. These are the main status codes you need to remember. interview point of view also, in your while testing also, you will get these 3 series related status codes only. So 200 series means that is for successful. Your process is successfully done at the server side and you got the output also as a response. That's the 200 series indicates. If you are getting any 200 status code, response status code, we call this. So if you get a 200 OK, that means successfully processed and you got the output. That's the meaning of 200 OK. So 201 created, that means your record is, your resource is created in the server and then you will get a 201 created. So 202 accepted means your request is processed successfully and accepted by the server, nothing to return, just processed it. That's a 202 accepted. So 203, this is not that much important. 204, no content, nothing to display for you, but processed successfully. That is the 204, no content. And 206, partial content. That means 206, if you are getting, it is displaying a partial content, not full content. That's why you have to trigger one more time. It's successful, but thing is you are not getting the complete data. That's a 206 partial content. These are enough. Only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 status codes you must know. Remember this. At least these 3. They will ask you, tell me some 200 series status codes. They will ask. At least tell this 204 till 204, 200 to 204. You can skip the 203. Okay. So this you by executing you will get this. No, you will come to know. I'll show you that. Next, 300 redirection. So 300 series is there. The 300 redirection is nothing but 300 multiple choices. 301 moved permanently. That means your API is moved to new API. Old API moved to new API. That's a redirection means. So this API redirecting to new API. So that's a 301 moved permanently. This is the one mostly we'll use, not other things. 308 redirect, 307 temporary redirect, but 302 found. But you can just remember at least one or two. But this one they won't ask much. Mainly 200 series and 400 series they will concentrate. So 400 there are many 400 series status codes you are going to see. First 400 bad requests. When you will get 400 bad requests, your input is wrong. You are giving input to the method, right? The API method. That is wrong. Bad input you have given. That means invalid input you have given. Then you will get a 400 bad request. So when you will get a 400 bad request, when the input data provided a wrong data or invalid data, you will get a 400 bad request. They will ask you when you will get a 400 bad request. 401 unauthorized. Now I have shown you. If you don't give your credentials you are missing or invalid credentials you provided, then you will get a 401 unauthorized. So you are saying you are not authorized. You didn't give authorization token. You didn't give your credentials. So it is unauthorized. So that's the 401 unauthorized. 402 payment required. So this is also not important. 403 important. 403 forbidden. These two they are asking in the interview. What is the difference between 401 and 403? 403 forbidden means what? Stopping the permission to view that pages. You have a access, but you don't have a permission to view that page. You are authorized. You are authorized, but not having permission to view that page. That's a 403 forbidden. So authorized means you successfully logged in, but you don't have an edit option, you don't have a delete option like that. That is the 403 forbidden. Those actions are not applicable for your user. That's a 403 forbidden. So you are authorized successfully, but not having a permissions. Okay, that's a 403 forbidden. Is it clear? Difference between 401 and 403? That's the interview question, guys. Please understand. 404 not found. I explained the 404 not found in our broken links code. Broken links code. Did you remember? 404, even 200 also explained there, right? 404 not found means the resource is not found in the server. It's not there, but you are requesting that. Then the client will send, the request. What are the requests you process? The resource is not there in the server. That's what it is telling. 405 method not allowed. So you are using a endpoint URL, different endpoint URL for the post method. That endpoint URL is for the get method, but you're using for post method. Then it will say method not allowed. So next important 409 conflict. So till 400 to 405, you have to learn all this. Then 409 conflict. This is another important. In between this, you don't need 498 request a timeout, but that's okay. Proxy authentication required 407, but this one is important, 409. That's enough. In this 400 series, those are enough, not required other things. There are so many, but not required. Mainly 405, 409. 409 conflict means you are sending the post request again and again, same with the same data. So you will get a conflict already created, but again you are sending. It will say conflict. Already request is there. So that's the conflict, you will get it. Then 500 series is another very important. 500 series is basically internal server error. So internal server error you will get. Internal server error is nothing but the server side errors, these are all. So these 400 series are client side errors. 500 series errors are server side errors. So server is not able to process. Then you will get a 500 series errors. 500 internal server error, 501 not implemented. That request is not there, not implemented at all in the server side. Then you will get a 501 not implemented. 502 bad gateway. 503 service unavailable. I think you have seen service unavailable in the ATMs. You will see, right? Service unavailable something. So this service is when the service is down, but still you are requesting to that service. You're requesting that service. Then it will throw 503 service unavailable. Okay. 504 gateway timeout. It is taking more time in the server to process. Then you will get a 504 gateway timeout. So these 4 are enough, more than enough. This 4, okay. Other things not required. This 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. These 5 you must know in the 500 series. They will ask you, tell me all the status codes. What are all 200 series, 400 series, 500 series. Just some of them you list out. Okay. So that's it. And so tomorrow we'll execute the test cases. All the test cases will execute. I'll show you that tomorrow.